all-nighter. Street magic, chopped in silence. Cali Azul on the beat. Need y'all to take a ride with me. I'm just a kid from Fall River, what I know. Riding through my city that they're gentrifying, market rate housing while there's homeless dying. And I know that they're trying cause this program's out there, but I ain't reaching out there, they ain't reaching out there. Empty storefronts, internet to blame, gotta move different if nothing is the same. Entertainment venues, bringing nightlife, transparent police, body cams that's live, I mean live stream they whole shift. Personal info can censor it. Even though when involving police it becomes public info, but that's a different topic for a different tempo. Back to my city that they're gentrifying, panhandlers on the Ave and the addicts dying. Parents crying, losing kids, half my generation that are doing bids. So how are we gonna get to the youth? Teach them right and wrong when not to shoot. Started young in kindergarten, mental health class, your brain's a garden. Teach them all about their feelings till senior year. Let's start the healing. Since tech's here to stay, let's teach with VR, less bills that way. But what do I know? What can I say? I'm just a kid from Fall River. It's just my observations, chopped in silence. Cali Azul on the beat. It's all-nighter. All-nighter. Street magic, chopped in silence. Cali Azul on the beat. Need y'all to take a ride with me. I'm just a kid from Fall River, what I know. Riding through my city that they're gentrifying, market rate housing while there's homeless dying. And I know that they're trying cause this program's out there, but I ain't reaching out there, they ain't reaching out there. Empty storefronts, internet to blame, gotta move different if nothing is the same. Entertainment venues, bringing nightlife, transparent police, body cams that's live, I mean live stream they whole shift. Personal info can censor it. Even though when involving police it becomes public info, but that's a different topic for a different tempo. Back to my city that they're gentrifying, panhandlers on the Ave and the addicts dying. Parents crying, losing kids, half my generation that are doing bids. So how are we gonna get to the youth? Teach them right and wrong when not to shoot. Started young in kindergarten, mental health class, your brain's a garden. Teach them all about their feelings till senior year. Let's start the healing. Since tech's here to stay, let's teach with VR, less bills that way. But what do I know? What can I say? I'm just a kid from Fall River. It's just my observations, chopped in silence. Cali Azul on the beat. It's all-nighter. All-nighter.
I know me and Dan were down there that last week looking it over.
Yeah, so let me give you a few comments. So this is normally something that we would just take something in a correspondence. We were CC'd on some comments that were received by the Army Corps of Engineers for the permitting of the 52 Ferry Street Marina expansion that we had issued an order of conditions for maybe like 2 years ago. They have gone through the process of going through DEP and getting their Chapter 91 license just not all that long ago, and they actually had to receive the variance for doing so because of where it's actually located. So just dates back to June of 25. So they're still in the Army Corps permitting of it. Part of that process allows for comment from even the general public, adjacent landowners, and there is an adjacent landowner, Board in Remington, who has provided significant comment to the Army Corps of Engineers. So they were courteous enough to send all that along to us just for our own edification for the time being, while they figure out what's being done, what can be done, what has been done, what did have permits, what did not have permits. There's a lot in the correspondence. I read through it all. I found a couple of items that I think can be responded to fairly simply, but there are some bigger ticket items in here, mostly having to deal with navigation. When you have a facility that brings in ships that are 400 to 600 feet long, and we discussed this at the time, right? That when we were permitting the marina, that we had reached out to the harbor master, who is our specialist with dealing with navigation, but that Chapter 91 and the Army Corps would deal with that. So they are hitting some hurdles with the navigation portion of this. We do have, did we send copies to everybody when we received them, or just the normal ones that I send them out? I can send out comments of everything just so that you're aware of it all.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, you did, okay, I wasn't sure if everybody got them. So you can read through it, and basically, the majority of it is the landowner directly north wants to preserve their ability to bring in certain size ships, and this may have their ability to do so. So putting everybody on notice. I've started doing some digging based upon some of the assertions that are in some of the letters from the consultants that were submitted to Army Corps. But at this time, I'm not ready to give you any findings on yet. Once we do so, then you can determine which path you may want to go. Once it's been determined whether some actions have either been permitted or not permitted. So, with that, any in the audience want to add to that?
I'd be happy to. Bob Bogan, I'm the president of the board in Remington, and I'm also the owner of the property, so at 63 Water Street. So as Mr. Aguirre was saying, that you guys got CC'd to a letter, also sent to 6 additional DEP, Mass State in Boston, and also Southeastern Mass. NEPA, Mass Coastal Zone Management. And so this was through our research, through our engineering firm, through our maritime lawyer, that we found some significant issues with this. So for what we do, we bring in vessels in from Europe. Product is for sodium hydroxide. We bring it in 6 times a year. Significant investment to bring that in, but also our ability or lack of ability to bring these vessels in. Also, you see a letter from the Pilot Association. They are against any kind of expansion from the marina, where they cannot bring in safely into any of those vessels. To our business, if we lose that ability to bring in these vessels, to the extent where jobs are at stake, and it's not an exaggeration, but and to a certain point, I'm here for protect those jobs that are going to be severely impacted. So for our business, for what we do, this project, along with some issues where we feel that whatever the responsibility for the Conservation Commission to do, look to any enforcement action, which is, again, this is factual, this is research, this is not rumors, this is not accusations. So we don't waste time. We're not going to waste your time on that stuff. So whatever the conservation can do on your end for your response, we appreciate it. But if there's any questions anybody has, what we do or what's going on, appreciate Mr. Aguirre. We got to show them what we do, and it's probably a long time coming. I mentioned it. But, yeah, to bring in people. So we have a good relationship with all our regulatory agencies. It's an arm's length of all between DEP, EPA, OSHA, Homeland Security, Coast Guard, along with CZM, you name it, Federal Rail. So we deal with as many people as possible. And we always say the people that need to know. And so I recommend it. You want to talk to the environmental compliance officer of the fire department, and she's great to work with. So, highly recommend any of that kind of conversations.
Do you know where you're at in the process as far as?
So
receiving
what Army
comment?
Corps does at this,
Period.
okay, how
But
do
the
you
comment
respond?
period's closed, so now you're just. waiting for a
Correct,
response.
so they waiting for their end. We were never listed as an abutter in this process as well. So obviously for 60 is where is the biggest impact.
What's the largest vessel, Bob, you bring in?
We average well over 500 feet, but so today's shipping process is they're trying to get as many big, large vessels out there as possible to get as much as they can. So because it does make multiple stops. It doesn't just come one stop to Fall River. It'll go down the coast or vice versa, come back up this way.
And you said about 6 times a year you get to?
Yeah. So each, go ahead, Chris.
What percentage of that, Bob, is, what percentage do you impacting of your?
25 to 30% of our business. So it's not, so each vessel costs a commodity and it averages out to $1.3 million per delivery to come in. So it's a significant impact on us to purchase and bring in. So it's allows us to be very competitive for what we're doing. There's really no other way to do it.
So, just so everybody understands, multiple facets to this matter. Some you have your protection act, so your scope is fairly limited. So the actions taken by this commission don't necessarily deal with the ongoing issues that Boyd and Remington will have with bringing in ships, right? We don't deal with the navigation part of it. So we deal with the landward improvements, or anything between Mead and High goes to DEP, and they issue the licensing for the structures themselves. The actual navigation part of it and the logistics of how it operates and how it impacts abutting properties, that's why it's now at this point. It would be nice if there was an agency, or that all agencies started at the same time and provided comment, so that we don't.
To go to site plan review?
No,
Or
it does not. No. So again, any of the issues that, so there are many issues that were brought up here that have to do with 52 Ferry operation and one ferry, which is Brockton Marina. Some historic matters that technically what's in front, and what Remington commented on is the navigation issues of the expansion of the marina.
Mhm.
So because some of these other items were brought up before advising or recommending or figuring out what is our job in all of this. So I was very appreciative that it was brought to our attention by the Corps. And we'll keep moving things along. And I'm sure Bob will keep us up to date.
Yeah, we felt it was very important in incorporating the Conservation Commission, what we were doing, so where to send it out, where to get it to, keep you guys up to speed, what's going on.
So you have a large footprint down there.
Yeah.
I'm just, is there any reason why you weren't included as an abutter?
I can't answer
I'm gonna
question.
look back at the notice of intent. So
Okay.
for Conservation Commission purposes, the assessor's office
We
creates.
have as much, actually, your office provided us with information which we never received. So
You hadn't
I
received-
can't answer that question.
Okay,
I can't.
but you should have at least received a letter
Mhm.
from the applicant that says they're before the commission for this marina creation, for the initial hearing for the conservation.
Correct.
So that I want to check and make sure that you were on the abutters list.
We have another property south of that, and that sporadically received notice, but that's
Okay.
not impacted by any of this.
Well, in fact, so the law states that they have to notify abutters within 100 feet.
We're within 100 feet.
So then you should have received a notice of the notice of intent that was
Correct.
filed. Other than that, there would be no notification here.
Yeah.
As far as chapter 91 goes, adjacent landowners that show up, because they're labeled on the plan, the chapter 91 plans. Yeah, so you are listed, no, that was my Marina. Ferry Street, ERT Holdings, 52 Ferry. So you're not, oh no. Lee Francis LLC?
That's south, that's the
So that
property.
was the butter that got.
That looks pretty
That
good.
was because we share a property line, so then they're in a butter.
Yeah.
So they were notified.
But not the property that's getting impacted by.
No,
I understand your
yeah,
point.
I know, so, because that's what, so we rely on the assessor's office creates the list, then the property owner notifies, shows, gives us the green cards that they were all notified, so. Only because as I've read through this and again started doing some homework, there were some comments made about some of the structures and work that was done at One Ferry, where they referenced that there were no licenses
Correct,
or orders of conditions issued.
correct.
I think there were or was an order of conditions issued for the specific area that they called out. I can't say that they went forward and modified their license afterwards. But have them call me and I can.
Through VHB, that's what they found through their research.
Right,
Yeah.
but it's, I just want to make sure that what they are saying, I don't know whether that they just looked at what was recorded at the registry of deeds.
No, it says it in the report
Okay.
where they looked it up under. So there was nothing filed with coastal zone management or MIPA or anything like that.
Right, but they make reference that there was no notice, no order of conditions issued.
Yeah.
That I think might be wrong on one of the matters, but we really, I don't want to discuss that tonight because we're just talking about the correspondence
Yeah.
today, but we will keep an eye on it, but keep us in the loop. And,
They're good, okay.
Hopefully we can provide some assistance
All right.
in getting this matter resolved.
This is a designated port area, right?
Correct.
And looking at regulations, whether it's coastal zone management, whatever, they put a high priority on industrial use.
So they had to go get a variance from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for constructing a recreational marina in a designated port. And that took them a while to do, but they jumped through that hoop and they did get that done prior to them getting their actual Chapter 91 license. Not easy to do.
Yeah, just reading the regulations.
Yep.
It seems like they really push for the industrial use and water
Yeah.
dependent companies there. It didn't seem like they look kindly on encroachment.
So again, in the June 26th letter from DEP, and it's 24 pages long, regarding written determination pursuant to MGL Chapter 91 for a variance of 310 CMR 9.0. And that's what they had to deal with. So we have that in our record as well. It's fairly lengthy, but it's what they determined and what they relied upon allowing this to happen regarding Chapter 91 licensing.
Yeah, it's a separate matter. That's DEP with Chapter 91 and then Army Corps with the other matter about continuing with the project, so.
Well, we thank you for your time.
No, thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, moving forward, you're gonna, like the work done, can we?
I'll do a little, I'm gonna do some assessing of, because it's various
I don't
permits
know what you
at
want us to say
different.
on now before but there's some stuff that's, looks like it might not be,
It may or not.
I think it'd benefit both the marina
But
and
there
us
was,
to get.
but there was one main area of concern that I think we at least covered our end of the permitting.
Yeah.
I don't know if moving forward, if the applicant went and amended their license.
Yeah.
Sometimes marina owners feel that they have a marina footprint. Anything that happens within the footprint is fair game. I'm not of that mindset, but I can understand how a marina owner might think that. So that if I come up with something that I think is.
Okay,
Yeah, seconded.
All in favor? Aye.
So that right there was the Conservation Commission. Starting off today's episode like that. So I know the video is a little long, but we're going to break it down. But before we do, please share this out to your news feed. Share this to groups, tag people in a post, tag people in the comment section. Send this out to like-minded individuals in Messenger. We are sharing this live and streaming on YouTube and Facebook. We are on Facebook, on the Aaron All Nighter Facebook page and the Four of Experience. Also streaming this live on Street Magic Multimedia. So follow, subscribe, turn on notifications. It is highly appreciated. Thank you. Now, if there's anything specific you want me to talk about in an episode, message the page, tag the page, comment below, and let me know. We're going to be running down a bunch of things today, but first I want to discuss that video that we just played. So, that is the owner from the Atlantic Shipping Building down on Ferry Street on Fall Rivers waterfront. Now, there is some work going on at 52 Ferry Street, and that is for the Marina, Borden Lake Marina, for Pier 52, Tipsy Toboggan, that area. Now, Atlantic Shipping is having a little bit of an issue because the Marina wants to extend itself, get a little bit bigger, and push out into the water. So it has done everything that it has to get that going. However, if the Marina extends its size, it will halter the business of Atlantic Shipping because certain size ships of cargo containers will not be able to port. So that's the dilemma. The owner claims that it'll affect 30% of his business, which is a third. So Conservation Commission decided to table the matter to get more information, to figure out how they need to go about this. And it's very difficult, if you ask me, because I think with all of this going on, you need better communication. That way, everybody's on board, everybody knows what's going on, and nobody's trying to fuck over the next person. How do you guys feel about it? I'm wondering. I want you guys comment below. Again, share this out to your newsfeed. Share this to groups. Tag people in a post. Tag people in the comment section. It is highly appreciated. Now, we're going to keep this going. And I'm trying to get these last videos uploaded, downloaded for your entertainment and information. Okay. The downloading app is giving technical difficulties. However, we will persevere and keep this going and talk about what's going on. So, what I need from you guys is I need you to, again, like I said before, share this out to your newsfeed. Share this to groups. Tag people on a post. Tag them in the is I'm going to show you a video from the park board where the park board decided to, how can I put this, ruin a wedding that was scheduled for Kennedy Park because there was alcohol, even though the people had insurance for the alcohol. No go. And this is why Fall River can't have nice things, guys. This is why.
For a wedding ceremony on Saturday, July 11th, from noon until 7. Food is going to be pre-cooked and brought, and they are also going to be putting a portage on there for bathroom use.
I think so.
We never had that before.
Yeah, they want to do what they're gonna pay the fee, I charge them the fee. It's only on a Saturday too.
And they have insurance too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
told they're gonna have
They have all the
liability.
insurance.
Darren, I was reading this. I just have a question. Is they, because usually there's kids there and stuff. Are they gonna, you know, what I mean, be able to tell kids or not to be if they're having a ceremony there? Do you know how that's gonna work?
Well, when they come in and pay the permit fee, we tell them, hey, if you're having an issue down there
Okay.
with them, you just call it to PD, because you
I,
are permitted.
But the food is gonna be pre-cooked,
Yeah?
Yeah.
but they can't bring any grills or anything. They
No,
need
no,
this.
No, they already know, no less, unless they're gonna get food trucks down there.
Well, I got married down there and I didn't have no problem with the kids.
So,
So,
just got a question.
You what?
I got married down there and I didn't have no problem with the kids.
No, I'm not talking about the kid, I'm talking about the food.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's pretty close, yeah.
I didn't wear no food.
Can't be, they can't warm it up on grills or anything like that.
No.
So if you look at the liability, the insurance side of this is host liquor liability. So they're allowed to have liquor.
Does
No,
it say that?
In the on the first insurance, liability insurance, it says
Yeah.
host liquor and it's got a check mark. So I'm assuming they're getting a liability for liquor.
No.
no, they can't,
it's not like
they
that.
can't. have
But
it.
you see the
I
insurance
see
one?
them, yeah, but they-
Right on the left-hand side on the first where it says certificate of liability insurance, it says host liquor and there's a check mark next to it.
no,
So
they
that's
can't.
something that you gotta possibly talk to them about.
Well,
Because I get it, it's a
all those
wedding,
food
champagne,
trucks-
all that stuff.
But it's
All
not.
those food truck vendors, they gotta be licensed. And they have to pay too, don't they?
Well, they're not bringing food trucks down there.
Except they may.
They may.
So
With,
if they do, yeah, right here.
no, it's a G.
Yeah,
We're on G.
Oh, I'm on G,
Yeah,
okay,
one
all
of
right.
G.
Yeah. But I mean, I would gather the form that they sent in said wedding ceremony. They would have to go to the licensing board to do that. And if they have liquor, you know what I mean, they're gonna come down.
I just,
you know.
like I said, I just noticed that on the insurance form, it's checked, so that means that they took out a liquor
I
liability.
didn't see that.
Yeah, so that's something that's gotta be talked to, I mean,
yeah, you're gonna have to notify
Yeah.
them. but-
because this
Yeah.
wedding is happening in 10 days.
Yeah, they can't,
No.
can't allow them to have,
So if it gets approved, it'd have to be approved with
With the
with
stipulation.
a stipulation that the liquor, unfortunately, I get it, it's a wedding, but the liquor can't happen.
no.
I think it would even supersede us because you have to have a license.
Right,
You
I
have to
get
have a liquor
that.
License,
But
you
like,
know.
because they pay for the insurance, I don't know if they know about getting the license for liquor.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's fine. You're right. They should be notified. But
I was looking over the insurance liability and never do it, I just saw that, and I was like, whoa, liquor, post liquor liability?
good catch. Okay,
So if we approve it, it would have to be proving, a stipulation that no liquor is
No
to be
liquor.
served.
so you want to make a motion to that effect then?
Yeah, I'll do it. So I'll make a motion to approve the ceremony with a stipulation that no liquor is to be served during the ceremony on the
That's
prime
right,
premise.
you can't have no liquor.
Right.
No.
So that's what I'll make it. And Darren, if you can follow up
Yeah,
with that.
no liquor
Yeah, we'll
allowed.
follow up tomorrow.
Because it's, like I said, it's 10 days away, so. They do make apple cider in bottles, so. So that's my motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll have a second.
Oh,
Second.
okay, sorry. All right, Mrs. Rigo, seconded that. All in favor?
Aye.
What type of asshole are you to stop alcohol at a wedding? The guy, like, I understand champagne and they got the insurance, but we can't do it. Sorry, not gonna happen. They got apple cider in bottles. Then the asshole laughs. How would you feel if it was your wedding and 10 days before the wedding at Kennedy Park, you want the historical Kennedy Park, Olmsted Park, same architect who designed Central Park in New York. You want your wedding, and you get denied. Well, approved with a stipulation. The stipulation that, hey, no alcohol, none at all. You want to toast? Well, you better toast with apple cider. It comes in bottles. I still can't believe the man laughed after that. This is why nothing goes on in the parks. This is why nobody really utilizes the parks. It is such a hassle and strenuous issue to even get like anything to happen. Anything. Like, just look at the way that they are. How are you gonna, like, the Kennedy Park overlook, great wedding spot. I mean, you can make it look really nice, beautiful, everything. But that could be a thing. They want to stop it, though. They got the insurance. Why not just be like, hey, give them a call, say, yo, you got the insurance already. Why don't you go get the license and everything will be fine. Instead, nah, can't do that. Nope, no alcohol. And then the old lady, she's just against anything. They can't be cooking, they can't have alcohol, they can't have this, they can't have that, they can't have this. Ma'am, what can they have? What can they have? And you wonder why city isn't getting money for people throwing events in the park. Because that's a revenue source for the city. However, it's really not, because they're not allowing anything to happen. Look at Providence, Rhode Island, where they had the FIFA watch parties. Alcohol in the park. They had thousands of people. It flooded the whole city of Providence, where every local business benefited. Every single one of them. From the watch parties in Providence. There was one at Kennedy Park. One. Why can't we have more events like this? People ask. Maybe the park board. It was a wedding that somebody got the insurance for. And still, they said, no, sorry, can't help you. It cracks me up. It's like, how much of a shitbag do you gotta be to tell somebody, no, at your wedding, no alcohol, sorry, can't have it. I understand there's rules, there's regulations, there's liability. They paid for the insurance. That covers the liability. The city's off the hook if anything happens. Let them enjoy their day. Come on now. Fall River, how do you feel about this? I need your comments below. I need your thoughts. I'm curious because this got me going. This was like, are you serious? This is what we're doing in Fall River? And everybody's like, oh, well, we want this event. We want this. We want that. And wonder why this never happens in the city. And why don't they ever do fun things? This is why. Moving along, check this out. We'll talk about it. 23-year-old man pleads not guilty after Fall River home reportedly broken into and items stolen. That's the guy right there. Fall River Police Department made an arrest on multiple charges over the weekend. According to Acting Chief, a breaking and entering call came in for 1033 Rodman Street on Saturday at approximately 9:45 a.m. 23-year-old Rajim Jesus Sanchez was found inside the property, which he had allegedly broken into, along with items that had been stolen from the building. Sanchez was charged with breaking and entering a building in the daytime for a felony, larceny from a building, and vandalizing property. Court records show that he pled not guilty at Monday's arraignment and was released on personal recognizance, with a pretrial hearing scheduled for September 3rd. Guy said he didn't do it. Well, now you got it. Now you got to prove it in court. That's how things go. You know what I mean? So we'll find out. You know what I mean? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows, right? Keeping it going. This one's good. Check it out. We'll talk about it. Interim Superintendent names Executive Director of Human Resources for Fall River Public Schools. That's the lady. Fall River Public Schools Interim Superintendent Dr. Kathleen Smith has announced the appointment of Dr. Christine Codino as the district's Executive Director of Human Resources effective July 1st. Fall River Public Schools states that Dr. Codino has more than 2 decades of educational leadership. Throughout her career, she has led initiatives focused on supporting students, strengthening school communities, and developing effective systems that help educators and school staff succeed. Most recently, Dr. Codino was the Director of Special Education in the Whitman-Hanson Regional School District. Before that role, she served as Superintendent of Avon Public Schools and held several central office leadership positions in Massachusetts school districts. Her experience includes overseeing personnel management, collective bargaining, professional development, policy implementation, and strategic planning. As Executive Director of Human Resources, Dr. Codino will oversee recruitment, hiring, employee relations, certification and licensure, professional development, and other professional functions that support the district's more than 2,500 employees. So, the school board, we're going to talk about the school. So, new interim superintendent names new HR. We get a lot of new in the school department. A lot of new. And speaking of a lot of new, we're going to get to this next story right here. And this one This one I got issues with. This one is so Fall River, it's horrible. We hired a crook from Brockton to run the money for our school department. Don't believe me? Check this out. We'll talk about it. After Brockton controversy, Florida Public Schools announces appointment of new CFO. This guy. Florida Public Schools has announced the appointment of the district's new chief financial officer. According to public schools, Aldo Padrino brings more than 25 years of public sector financial management experience to the district. Padrino was the school business officer for Acushnet Public Schools and spent nearly 2 decades as chief financial officer for Brockton Public Schools. As CFO, Padrino will oversee the district's financial operations, including budgeting, accounting, payroll, purchasing, grants management, financial reporting, and long-term fiscal planning. He will work closely with Superintendent Dr. Kathleen Smith, district leadership, and the school committee to ensure that financial resources are aligned with educational priorities of Fall River Public Schools. Florida Public Schools states that during his career in school finance leadership, Padrino managed the financial operations of a large urban school district with an annual budget exceeding $300 million. His responsibilities included budgeting, accounting, payroll, and benefits administration, procurement, grant oversight, transportation, food services, construction finance, contract negotiations, and financial reporting. He also played a key role in the financial management of multiple school construction projects and developed long-range financial plans for the district. Now we're going to get to where it gets good. All right. So that's everything that he did. But beyond his work in school finance and operations, Padrino has also been a strong advocate for educational equity throughout Massachusetts. He played an instrumental role in the development of the Student Opportunity Act and has worked extensively to support equitable funding and educational opportunities for students across the Commonwealth, helping ensure that all children have access to the resources they need to succeed. So he's about equity. That's good. That's good. Not everybody equal, especially in the schooling. But let's get to the goodness. We're almost there. Padrino holds a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Boston University School of Management with a concentration in finance and a background in management information systems. He is licensed as a Massachusetts School Board Administrator and has extensive experience in governmental accounting, school finance, procurement, and fiscal compliance. Haha, fiscal compliance. We're going to talk about money and compliance. According to the Enterprise of Brockton in September 2023, Padrino was placed on administrative leave amid the discovery of an $18 million budget deficit in Brockton Public Schools. This is the guy we just hired for Fall River Public Schools. An independent investigation and audit heavily criticized the district's finance department, and he was officially fired in October of 2024. Padrino has maintained that he was made a scapegoat for systematic issues and political pressures. Late 2025, he filed a federal defamation lawsuit against the city of Brockton, former Mayor Robert Sullivan, the school district, and others, seeking emails and records to clear his name. And this is the guy we just hired to run our money here in Fall River. The guy who's involved in a controversy, $18 million missing out of the Brockton School Department budget. He gets fired from Brockton from it. Fall River's like, hey, you want a job? Come on, buddy, come on down. What? Where does this make sense? Who hired this guy? Do they have brains? Yes. The resume looks great up until the firing at Brockton. Okay? But when you're hiring somebody to handle your finances, you do not hire somebody who's involved in a controversy of an $18 million deficit. It's not who you hire. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. Where's our brains in for it? Are we sitting on them? Somebody, please tell me. I told you, we're going to talk about the schools for a little bit. Let's go to Doran Elementary Community School. Check this out. We'll talk about it. Educator returning to Fall River Public Schools to become new principal at Doran Community School. That lady. That's who. Fall River Public Schools Interim Superintendent Dr. Kathleen Smith has announced the new principal of John J. Doran Community School effective July 20th, 2026. This interim superintendent, Dr. Kathleen Smith, is hiring everybody. Just saying. According to Fall River Public Schools, Julie Olibry returns to the public schools where she previously served as a classroom teacher for 5 years. She brings extensive experience in urban education, school leadership, creator and educator development, and instructional excellence. Currently, Olibry serves as an education specialist in the Office of Educator Excellence and Certification Services for the Rhode Island Department of Education, where she supports educator effectiveness and certification initiatives statewide. Before her work at the state level, she worked as a teacher and served in the school department. We're excited to welcome Julie back to Fall River Public Schools, said Interim Superintendent Dr. Kathleen Smith. It's always rewarding when talented educators choose to return to our district. Julie has valuable leadership experience at both the school and state levels. Her deep understanding of urban education, commitment to student success, and passion for supporting educators make her an excellent fit to lead the John J. Doran Community School. A statement from Interim Superintendent Dr. Kathleen Smith. Now, Olibry said she's eager to return back to Fall River Schools. So that's going to be the new principal at the John J. Doran Community School. So, it's a little background. So you know, if you're a parent and you got a kid going there next school year, you're going to have a brand new principal. Hired by the same person who hired the CFO with the controversy of $18 million deficit. Who knew, right? Who knew? I can't wrap my head around the happenings of this city sometimes. It hurts my brain. It really does. Now, we're going to go keep this going to something else that hurts my brain. Check this out. We'll talk about it. Power outage, flooding, cancels final walkthrough of Old Diman. Diman Regional Vocational Technical High School regrets to announce that the planned final walkthrough of its existing school building has been altered due to the flooding that caused a major power outage affecting essential building utilities. Utilities will not be restored prior to the event. In addition to the loss of electrical power and telephone service, the building no longer has properly illuminated signs, running water, or restroom facilities, making it impossible to safely welcome visitors into the building for a true walkthrough. The walkthrough is intended to provide alumni, former staff, community members, and supporters with one final opportunity to visit the current building before Diman transitions to its new campus later this summer. Fortunately, the loss of these essential building services requires the event to be altered. Community yard sale with Diman memorabilia will still be held on Sunday, July 12th from 2 to 4 p.m. in the gymnasium. Members of the public are invited to browse a variety of surplus items from the existing school building that will be available free of charge while supplies last. Items will be available on a first-come, first-served basis. There's probably a lot of desks, chairs, stuff like that. So if you're interested, go check that out. Please note that restroom facilities will not be available during the event, and parking will be limited. Parking will be available in the student parking lot, which is currently under construction. Guests are advised to use extra caution as the parking service will be gravel and conditions may be uneven. So, be careful out there. So, Diman. Good old Diman Regional Vocational Technical High School. The school with the 6-name. Not only is, how do I put it, closing, but the building was in such bad condition at the end of its tenure. It electricity had to end the school week early because of, hey, guess what? We don't have bathrooms. There's no working water. The electricity is out. Are you kidding me? Are you? Like, really? This is what neighboring communities talk shit about for it. Maybe we should have closed the school last year. That way it wasn't, hey, guess what? The school closed due to a flood and the power being out. Like, we really milked that school to the very end. Made sure that there was nothing left that we needed or could get out of that building. It's absolutely horrible, in my opinion. Absolutely horrible. Hopefully, the new Diman High School is built better than the new Durfee, which was already leaking year one. You know, so I'm hoping for better with Diman. Now we can only hope. We can only hope. But how do you guys feel about it? Comment below. It's highly appreciated. Now, with that being said, what I'm going to do now is tell you guys one more time. We're trying to get this out there. Share this to your newsfeed. Share this to groups. Tag people in a post. Tag people in the comments section. Send this out to like-minded individuals in Messenger. Put at followers, at highlight, at top fans. It is highly appreciated. Thank you. Now, we're going to keep this going along. And I'm going to get to some better news. Okay. Because I got bad news. I got good news. There's news all over. So, in better news, check this out. We'll talk about it. That right there is a brand new mural on Bedford Street, the CD Rec building at 45 Rock, on the corner of Rock Street in Bedford. Some of you Fall River guys may remember that's the old 45 Rock courthouse. I like the mural. I like more art around the city. I think it cleans up the neighborhoods. I think that mural there is going to look real good when the police station is demolished and that corner is cleaned up. But speaking of cleaning up that corner over on Bedford Street, we have to talk about the fire station. Check this out. We'll talk about it. Decrepit Fall River Fire Station could get a facelift. It's about time. The city is looking for contractors to spruce up the ailing Central Street Fire Station. The move comes as its neighbor, former police station, is getting demolished. Purchasing department has published an invitation for bids for a contractor to clean, repoint, and consolidate the building's masonry, install new exterior light fixtures, and repair and repaint 4 historic metal medallions above the garage doors. Okay. The fire station at 165 Bedford Street has been the subject of significant controversy for years. The station's exterior shows visible signs of decay. Inside, firefighters are living and working in conditions that are unacceptable. The union president, Michael O'Regan, has called it an unhealthy environment to work in, with flooding, water damage, and asbestos contamination. The building was constructed in 1931, served as the fire department headquarters for years, and once housed Hook and Ladder 1, Hose Companies 2 and 8, and Pumper 3. Like the former police headquarters, the building was designed early. The department's headquarters eventually migrated to 755 Pine Street before moving to its current home on Commerce Drive in 2002. The city council, along with officials from the fire department, have considered building a new station along the Wall Street, which may or may not involve demolishing the central station. Architectural and engineering firm Civitex have drafted an extensive set of plans detailing the work to be completed at this central fire station. It will involve repairing cracks in the facade's masonry to historic preservation standards and cleaning and repointing it. Multiple light fixtures on the facade appear to be missing entirely. The job involves installing and rewiring those sconces. 4 medallions are mounted above the garage bay doors, depicting a fire helmet crossed by a ladder and ornamental symbols. In recent years, they have suffered significant damage. They're paint peeling and mounted on rusty metal. Those are scheduled to be restored. It's a picture right there. That looks horrible. You can't even tell what it is. What is that mess? The bid packet includes an environmental report conducted by Asbestos Identification Lab of Woburn, conducted in January 2026. It notes that chrysotile or foamous asbestos was detected in pipe insulation in the second floor supply room and a second floor locker room. The report does not indicate asbestos was found anywhere else. But it was found in their locker room. Hello? Come on, guys. Although the project manual contains information pertaining to asbestos removal, it is found during the course of the project. Removing the existing asbestos does not appear to be part of the current project under bid. Bids are due on July 23rd by 2 p.m. and will be opened and witnessed publicly. However, like I just said, if they find asbestos, which they already found on the second floor and in the plumbing and in the locker room, there's nothing in the bid to clean out the asbestos. So we're just going to paint and fucking do that shit, right? Fall River, please, Fall River, can you please make sense. Oh my God. Why? Why would I think Fall River would do anything better? Our motto is we'll try. We'll try on that one. They'll just paint over everything. Don't worry about it. You can't see it anymore. Now, some good and crazy at the same time. Check this out. We'll talk about it. Animal Rescue League of Boston Spay Wagon coming to Fall River and other locations. Thanks to donations made on line 33F of the Mass State Income Tax Form, Massachusetts Animal Fund has announced that registration is now open for their first voucher day of 2026. On Tuesday, July 28th, 2026, Mass Animal Fund is teaming up with the Animal Rescue League of Boston Spay Wagon and local animal control officers to hold a voucher day in Fall River. You get your cats to the Spay Wagon. For this clinic, they're accepting spay, neuter applications for healthy dogs under 5 years old and under 40 pounds and healthy cats under 5 years old. Animals must be owned by low-income Massachusetts residents. So you got to be broke. You can't be pulling up in a Benz to be like, hey, no, pay for it. You got the money. Please know that there are limited slots for voucher days, and they often receive many more applications than they have surgery spots. Submitting an application does not guarantee a spot for the day. All confirmed spots will be notified by email by July 14, 2026. So just Google Spay Wagon, Fall River, Massachusetts, and the link will pop up. You apply and hope for the best, right? Now, you see how there was a line item, 33F, for the money, for the Spay Wagon? Cool. The Spay Wagon got money. Know what didn't get money and was requested? Alan Sylvia requested $100,000 for a sensory playground for autistic children in Fall River, brought on by Marcel Riley, a father of a nonverbal autistic child who is headstrong on getting this done. And the request was for $100,000. Since State Rep Alan Sylvia voted for the budget, mass budget, to be audited in alliance with Massachusetts voters, that 72% of the voters voted for this audit. So he aligned himself with the voters. The government punished him and us here in Fall River by saying, oh, you need $100,000 for that sensory park? Yeah, we'll give you 10 grand. What are you going to do with 10 grand? So Fall River residents have been teaming up and donating money to get this done. And shout out Fitzgerald Counseling Group. Check this out. We'll talk about it. They donated $2,000. Special thanks to Ryan Fitzgerald of Fitzgerald Counseling, which has 4 locations in Fall River, who donated $2,000 towards Maze Playground, a sensory park that will get built in Fall River. Ryan heard about Democratic leadership cutting State Rep Alan Sylvia's earmark from $100K to $10K because he supported the legislative audit and wanted to step up to support Fall River's autistic community. Go on Facebook, go follow Maze Playground, message them if you're interested in donating, contact them, say you'd love to help, and ask them how. With that being said, we're going to move on, and we're going to get into some little lighter news. I seen this on the news feed today, and it seems like people have an appetite for this rivalry in Florida. I'm talking about the rivalry between two former mayors, one convicted felon. Former Mayor William Flanagan versus former Mayor convicted felon Jazio Correa. If these two were to run for mayor, who would have your vote? If it was these two, just these two, who would you vote for? Would you vote for William Flanagan? Or would you vote for Jazio? Comment below. I'm curious to see where this goes. Now, both of them have a huge fan base, but both of them have a lot of haters as well. So that'd be very interesting to see. Now, moving along. See this bridge behind me? It's now lit up permanently. Check this out. We'll talk about it. Braga Bridge lighting now permanent. It's one of 5 bridges in Massachusetts that now have not only lights, but lights that are customizable. So we can customize these lights. We've put up pictures of the bridge as a rainbow, an American flag, it all being one color, multiple different colors. I want to know how you guys feel about the Braga Bridge lights. Because today, Fall River City Councilor Chris Peckham, he put up a post. Now in this post, Chris Peckham said how he feels about the lights. Do you feel the same? Check it out. We'll talk about it. So, City Councilor Chris Peckham posted this statement earlier. Statement on the $20 million Braga Bridge lightning project. Braga Bridge was named in honor of Charles M. Braga Jr., a young Fall River sailor who was killed during the attack on Pearl Harbor. His name represents sacrifice, service, and the working class character of a city that has given so much to this Commonwealth and this country. That history should be respected. The Commonwealth spending $20 million to illuminate the Braga Bridge, while the people of Fall River continue to face serious economic and quality of life challenges, is deeply troubling. At a time when many residents are struggling to afford rent, seniors are facing an 8 to 10 year wait list for housing. The median income in Fall River is roughly $35,000. Roads remain in poor condition. The municipal budget is severely unstable, and the city cannot clearly identify its current population. A $20 million cosmetic lighting project sends the wrong message. This is not a meaningful investment in the people of Fall River. It is an investment in appearance. It is an effort to make the city more attractive to outside investors, while long-standing residents, the very people who built, sustained, and remained loyal to this community, continue to be overlooked. At the most recent city council meeting, the chief's financial officer referenced the importance of new growth. New growth can be positive when it benefits the entire community. But when government begins to prioritize attracting and accommodating new development while failing to protect the core residents who already live here, that is not progress. That is displacement by design. That is gentrification. Fall River does not need to be dressed up for investors while residents are priced out, seniors are waiting years for housing, and basic infrastructure remains neglected. Fall River needs responsible investment in its people, its neighborhoods, its roads, its housing, and its long-term financial stability. The Braga Bridge should remain a symbol of service and sacrifice, not a symbol of misplaced priorities. Spending $20 million on bridge lighting while the people of Fall River are struggling to remain in their homes is not revitalization. It is a slap in the face to the residents of this city. And I agree. The state could have gave the $20 million that it did for the lights on the bridge and allocated it to the city for better things. Infrastructure work, more housing, something that would be more beneficial than, ooh, that looks nice. Wow. That looks nice doesn't pay the bills. Doesn't even help with the bills. Now, hey, what do I know? I'm just a kid from Fall River. Check this out. We'll talk about it. Fall River police determined after investigation that Machete attack report was unfounded. Here's what actually happened. Remember I told you guys the other day that this was fake? What was reported as a machete attack turned out to be no machete attack at all. According to police, on Sunday, Fall River police investigated a reported machete attack near Bicentennial Park. The person reporting the incident came to the police department approximately 1 hour after the alleged incident occurred. At the time the report was made, the victim, in quotes, was suspected to be under the influence of alcohol. Because of the serious nature of the allegation, officers conducted a thorough investigation. After taking the initial statement, officers responded to the area of Remington Avenue, where the incident was reported to have occurred. Officers interviewed several witnesses and determined that the facts did not support the original allegation. Witness statements conflicted with the reported party's account, and investigators found no evidence that a machete was involved. The investigation determined that the incident was a verbal argument between individuals who knew each other. And I told everybody, when this was reported the other day, I said, you do not get attacked by a machete and then walk into the police station without injuries. It's unfeasible. And I'm sure the cops thought that at first too. Especially when they identified the smell of alcohol. Like, who's this drunk guy coming in here? Saying he got attacked by a machete. Got not a mark on him. I was somebody who comes to find out had a verbal argument with somebody. So they were just arguing. Wanted that person to go to jail for a machete attack when that person didn't do nothing but verbally argue. This person was trying to use the police as a weapon and weaponize them to go arrest somebody who they had a disagreement with. Luckily, the police were able to see through this and stop it. Now, moving along, check this out, we'll talk about it. Bristol County Sheriff Heroux states its amateur hour at ICE believes agency is trying to intimidate, shame, or pressure his office to break the law. There's no love lost between ICE and Massachusetts authorities. In a post on X on Thursday, ICE Boston made what Bristol County Sheriff Heroux states was a partisan political statement and tried to pressure or intimidate me and my office to break state and federal law. So let me get this straight. One law agency trying to get another law agency to break the law. Got it. ICE stated that the Bristol County Sheriff's Office did not honor an ICE detainer, something ICE has accused Massachusetts officials of often, and has led to similar responses to the one Heroux gave on Monday. Okay, let's see where this goes. For what reason would ICE post this other than to try to intimidate this officer, shame, or pressure us into compliance with their unlawful requests? ICE detainers are not actual obligatory detainers or a legal requirement. They're requests made by ICE, and if honored without a 287G contract, would be a violation of state law and federal law. ICE knows that. We are bound by state law. In fact, at the monthly Massachusetts Sheriff's Association meeting, U.S. Attorney Leah Foley told all 14 Massachusetts sheriffs not to comply. Heroux then supplied the following. Lund versus Commonwealth. The Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court ruled that local and state police and county sheriffs are not allowed to hold anyone past when they post bail or when the court sets the release date. This means that ICE detainers be damned. The Massachusetts Chief of Police Association, Massachusetts Sheriff Association are in agreement about this interpretation. Hardly a liberal organization, the Massachusetts Chiefs of Police issued their own statement on Lund, stating that police are bound by the Lund decision. Arizona versus United States 2012. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that state governments are not allowed to enforce federal immigration law. States do not have the authority or jurisdiction. For example, it is in the same manner that the FBI doesn't have the authority to issue speeding tickets on city or state streets. The state and city law enforcement cannot enforce federal law, including immigration law. Hence, holding an immigration violator for violating federal immigration law once they have posted bail or the court has said they need to be released is doing federal law enforcement, which they just stated is not in their jurisdiction. Furthermore, the fact that a 287G program exists that trains and deputizes local and state police and sheriffs to assist with immigration enforcement suggests that assistance in the absence of this contract would be unlawful. ICE knows this, but based on the ex post, doesn't seem to care about local or state police or sheriffs following the law. So basically, all ICE had to do was fill out this 287G, and then everything would be fine. Somebody at ICE didn't want to fill out the proper paperwork to make it legal. He just wanted to call and be like, hey, that guy, hold him. We coming to get him. Sheriff's like, no, absolutely not. He already left. And And it's the law. I'm confused as how the one law agency is trying to get the other law agency to break the law. I'm very confused. Especially when it's law and order, law-abiding citizens. I'm confused, bro. I'm confused. And if an agency or a person who works at the agency is breaking a law, shouldn't they be held accountable? Me and you would. They'd held us accountable oh so fast. I don't know anymore, guys. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a kid from Florida. Now, we're going to get to very unfortunate news, but this has been confirmed. Check this out. We'll talk about it. 4 police are investigating after a fatal afternoon shooting in a parking lot deemed suicide. It's the Hanover Professional Building. 4 personnel responded to an incident at a city parking lot that turned fatal. The call came in around 1 p.m. on Tuesday for a medical assist in the Hanover Building parking lot at 235 Hanover Street. Acting Chief J.T. Hall confirmed that it was a suicide attempt and the patient, an adult male, was taken to Charlton Memorial Hospital for further treatment. Hall later confirmed that the man was pronounced deceased at the hospital. The matter is under investigation by Major Crimes Division detectives. Reason why it's under investigation, they want to make sure it was an actual suicide. RIP to the victim, condolences to the family. Mental health is tough. If you're having mental health issues, get checked. Go get some help. Talk to somebody. You'll be all right. Moving along. Check this out. We'll talk about it. Michael Rodriguez raises $63,000 in June. He has over $1 million. The battle for First Bristol and Plymouth District, Fall River, Freetown, Somerset, Swansea, and Westport is one-sided when it comes to money raise. Democrat State Senator raised $63,000 in June and now has over $1 million for his re-election campaign. Republicans, Gabriel Boomer Amaral raised $1,642 and has a total of $2,206. And Manny Silva raised $950 and has a total of $8,500. Well then, guys, I think you need to step your fundraising up. Either that or you can't, money makes the world go around. Money buys advertisement, billboards, mailers that get mailed to the house, commercials, all of that. Plus name recognition is huge. People got to know who you are. Now, Boomer Amaral, he's known in Fall River. He was recently ran against Mayor Coogan in a very close election. However, he needs to get his money up for the state level. I don't know what to say, guys. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Now, moving along. Check this out. We'll talk about it. Event organized for first anniversary of Fall River's devastating Gabriel House fire. Monday, July 13th at 6:30 p.m., Mayor Coogan will join community members for an evening of remembrance, reflection, and prayer to mark the first anniversary of the Gabriel House fire. The remembrance ceremony will be held in front of the Gabriel House on Oliver Street in Fall River. The gathering will honor the 10 lives lost in the fire, recognize the strength and resilience of the survivors, and hear from survivors and the first responders who helped save lives that day. All members of the community are invited to attend. The 10 fatal victims were Rui Albanez, 64, Ronald Codega, 61, Brenda Cropper, 66, Margaret Duddy, 69, Robert King, 78, Helena Lawler, 70, Kim Mackin, 71, Roger Rockin, 78, Eleanor Willett, 86, and Joseph Walensky, 77. RIP to those victims of such a tragic and horrible fire. Something like Fall River's never seen besides the granite block fire. Horrible. Now, guys, last but not least, there was a hit and run in the Highlands where some kids got injured. Check this out. We'll talk about it. Highlands Historic District Neighborhood Association recently posted this. Please help us find this hit and run driver. 2 young people were hit. Sunday, July 5th at 8:22 p.m., a white silver sedan blew through the stop sign at High Street and Maple Street and crashed into 2 lovely young people who were simply driving out to grab some McDonald's for dinner. A harmless mission, a normal night, until someone decided stop signs were optional. After hitting them, the driver, a woman wearing sunglasses at 8 p.m., because apparently she's living in her own personal eclipse, paused near 554 High Street. Maybe she was deciding whether to check if the kids she hit were okay. Maybe she was deciding whether her convenience mattered more than basic human decency. Whatever her internal debate was, when people approached her car, she took off. A partial plate was caught, maybe not 100% accurate, something like 5HYP44. Close, but not exact. The car should have damage on the passenger side. And tonight, these young victims were walking the neighborhood themselves, trying to find any video coverage that might help identify the driver. They shouldn't have to do that, but they're doing everything they can to make sure this doesn't get ignored. If you see a whitish silver sedan, possibly a newer Honda, Nissan, or Hyundai, with a plate resembling 5HYP44. If you see it, make sure you say something. Please contact the police and please let us know as well. We don't have their authority, but we're committed to making sure this doesn't get brushed aside. Doesn't get brushed aside, not at all. Horrible accident. Horrible. This was a cowardly, scummy hit and run, and the community deserves answers. These victims deserve accountability. Someone out there knows the car. I don't know why. I just went into a Trump impersonation while reading that, but I did. Oh well, right? Hopefully the kids are okay. They're old enough to drive, so teenagers at least. Young adults. Now, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in today. Hopefully, we start getting this more often and get this ball rolling like we used to. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Forever Experience will be live. So I will be back 1 p.m. Friday for you guys. So make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. And again, thank you for tuning in today. It's highly appreciated. Even if you have already, share this out again. Share this to your newsfeed. Share the groups. Tag people in the post. Tag them in the comment section. It's highly appreciated. Thank you. Now, with that being said, guys, I hope everybody is good. Do the right thing. Stay out of trouble. Treat each other with love, dignity, respect, and all that. You already know what it is. Your boy Aaron All-Nighter. Forever. You know, I'm off this. Peace. All-Nighter. Street magic. Chopped in silence. Kelly Azul on the beat. Need y'all to take a ride with me. I'm just kid from forever, what I know. Riding through my city that they're gentrifying. Market rate housing while there's homeless dying. And I know that they're trying cause this program's out there. But I ain't reaching out there. They ain't reaching out there. Empty storefronts, internet to blame. Gotta move different if nothing is the same. Entertainment venues, bringing nightlife. Transparent police, body cams that's live. I mean live stream they whole shift. Personal info can censor it. Even though when involving police it becomes public info. But that's a different topic for a different tempo. Back to my city that they're gentrifying. Panhandlers on the Ave and the addicts dying. Parents crying, losing kids. Half my generation that are doing bids. So how are we gonna get to the youth? Teach them right and wrong when not to shoot. Started young in kindergarten. Mental health class, your brain's a garden. Teach them all about their feelings. The senior year, let's start the healing. Since tech's here to stay, let's teach with VR. Let's build that way. But what do I know? What can I say? I'm just a kid from forever. It's just my observations. Chopped in silence. Kelly Azul on the beat. It's All-Nighter. All-Nighter. Street magic. Chopped in silence. Kelly Azul on the beat. Need y'all to take a ride with me. I'm just a kid from forever, what I know. Riding through my city that they're gentrifying. Market rate housing while there's homeless dying. And I know that they're trying cause this program's out there. But I ain't reaching out there. They ain't reaching out there. Empty storefronts, internet to blame. Gotta move different if nothing is the same. Entertainment venues, bringing nightlife. Transparent police, body cams that's live. I mean live stream they whole shift. Personal info can censor it. Even though when involving police it becomes public info. But that's a different topic for a different tempo. Back to my city that they're gentrifying. Panhandlers on the Ave and the addicts dying. Parents crying, losing kids. Half my generation that are doing bids. So how are we gonna get to the youth? Teach them right and wrong when not to shoot. Started young in kindergarten. Mental health class, your brain's a garden. Teach them all about their feelings. The senior year, let's start the healing. Since tech's here to stay, let's teach with VR. Let's build that way. But what do I know? What can I say? I'm just a kid from forever. It's just my observations. Chopped in silence. Kelly Azul on the beat. It's All-Nighter.